Thank you, Mr. Khullar, for joining us on the first edition of e4m Auto Marketing Awards. We have had some great sessions since morning, and right after lunch, we have a very interesting one, which talks about something which you deal with on an everyday basis, driving growth through collaboration. We know the word collaboration is not as simple as it sounds. It's very complex. You have internal, external stakeholders and multiple teams. Let me dive into this straight away by saying that how do you manage this array of coordination and then keep the brand messaging consistent at the same time? Give me the Hyundai story to begin with. How do you drive that collaboration at Hyundai?
Thank you, Ruhail. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen who are with me in this after-lunch session. It's always a tough session to be in. I'll try to keep you interested. Awake, I don't promise, very clearly. And also very interesting to have this special auto marketing summit to happen. This also gives us a lot of credence as auto marketeers that this obviously is a category that is not only different, but also something that operates in a very interesting and a very, I would say, insightful manner versus a lot of the other categories in India right now. So yeah, see very clearly, talent a lot of us may have, and it can make us win games. But teamwork and collaboration is something that can actually make you win championships, very clearly. Hyundai in India has spent almost a glorious 28 years. And nobody can do what Hyundai has done in India alone. Very clearly, we see a lot of list of partners on the screen here also. So this also is not possible without collaborations and partnerships. Now, coming back to the question on how one should handle partnerships internally and externally. Firstly, internally, one has to be very, very strongly collaborated. As a marketing team in Hyundai, we have to learn from our design and product teams. We have to listen to our sales and service teams. And then when all is jointly made into one, I would say, dal makhni, it has to be launched into the Indian consumer. And then obviously drive a lot of insights coming in from consumers in different parts of India, not serve one dish to the entire country. We've had collaborations since the beginning. I mean, one of our biggest collaborations is our partnership of more than 2 decades with Shah Rukh Khan. We started very early in 2000 until date. Even in this year, we have done partnerships with our brand ambassador. So when Hyundai gets into collaborations and partnerships, it is for longevity, it is for salience, and it is clearly for the long term. Both internal and external collaborations will have key selection criteria, key partnership criteria, and key result criteria. Without any of this, we will not be able to function going forward. Also, collaborations are different based on the consumer set we are looking at. If we are trying to do top funnel work for the Ioniq 5, or we are trying to do top funnel work for the Exter, which is our entry SUV, we'll have different collaborations on different media, on ground or online. A simple example on Ioniq 5, we are partners with, now we call it the Hyundai India Couture Week. So it's the epitome of a fashion week in the country. That is a collaboration we do for the Ioniq 5. For brands like the Exter or the i10 or the i20, we are very strongly associated with mass impact television shows. So depending on the nature of the objective, depending on the nature of the consumer, collaborations are fundamental, and collaborations are here and will remain with us.
You mentioned teamwork, and somewhere it's not about the skill set alone or the marketing knowledge and how much you know about it. It's also about a certain culture that you bring around to bring those skills together in an effective way. How do you manage that side of the story as far as coming together, teams and their skill sets are concerned? How do you manage that culture part of it that meshes into one big impactful force?
No, so Ruhail, I don't know if you've been to the Hyundai headquarters in Gurugram. It's a full-on open office. collaborative work environment. It's actually an office to see on how we can generate collaboration through just infrastructure. Key actions for a high involvement category player like Hyundai, which is now a strong number 2 for so many years in India, is the impact we will deliver on our product launches. How we will launch any of our products coming into the market in a very highly competitive and discerning consumer base. So almost 2 years in advance, the collaborative work starts within the organization, where the relevant teams start coming together, talking about the offering that is going to come in X month, in X year, and slowly through a launch cascade process, which is almost a very strongly documented process, we start involving all the different stakeholders. Marketing comes in at the right point of time when the go-to-market plans are ready to be made. And then in almost 6 months before the launch, obviously the intensity really becomes electric. And then we take the car to market. In this journey, we will have stakeholder conversations at all levels. It will be obviously internal, but it will be with dealerships, it will be through consumer clinics, it will be through primary and secondary research online. But all of this done by different teams comes together on one screen where the relevant teams take back the inputs they want for training, they want for test drive policies, they want for the marketing approach, so that the moment when the car hits the market or the service hits the market, it is the most apt, the most relevant for the consumer it is targeting. So culturally, we are very strongly collaborated. It is one of our core values that we have in Hyundai, not only in India, but also globally.
What are the fundamental differences between an internal and an external collaboration? Is it challenging? Which one is more challenging according to you?
See, we are ultimately all serving the external consumer. Ultimately, we are looking at, in India, for example, the 200 million people who are in the car buying funnel, just to give you a general sense. So we are all supposed to target the right consumer. We cannot be in a spray and pray environment in today's media world. We have to be as sharply equipped. So as I say, you will be, when you shoot, you have to be ready, you'll have to aim and then fire. If you don't have your readiness, if you don't know where to aim, your fire will never hit where you want to go. So just on this simple policy of being ready, being aiming and to fire, external collaborations are very important. But to have the external collaboration delivering the result that we want, the internal house has to be in order. If the different floors don't talk to each other, well, the consumer will never come to you. So I would not say A is more important than B, but I think it is a straight line. You set the internal collaboration in order, you get all the right metrics in place, everybody works for the benefit of the organization, and then when you reach the consumer, you know whom to target, when to target, how to target, then you will get your best conversion rates coming to your showrooms.
Right. You know, you have done so many of such collaborations. Is there any particular campaign or a collaboration which has an inside-outside story that has really transformed or had a great impact and you still recall it very fondly? Anything of that sort?
So, I mean, as a marketer, recall is one of the things we work for. It is something that we have it as a KPI. So, see, we do a lot of eccentric work, crazy work for the youth, work to sell cars, work to increase awareness, etc., etc. But something that personally I am I'm very much in love with is the work we have done under a purpose marketing initiative that we run, which is called Samarth. We call it Samarth by Hyundai. It's about 1.5 years old. For all of you who are not aware, Samarth by Hyundai is actually our work to increase awareness and inclusivity in India for the disabled. Now, there are more than 28-30 million people in India as per the last census, and obviously this number is much higher in the country. We are a mobility service provider. So we believe in mobility for all. So over the past 1.5 years, we have collaborated with media organizations. We have collaborated with very, very smart non-governmental organizations like Samarthanam and Go Sports, and done and actually have taken baby steps in this, I would say, paradigm change of setting some level of inclusivity for the disabled in India. The program I'm repeating is called Samarth. Please understand, and it's kudos to the leadership in Hyundai India and obviously the marketing team behind it, that we are working firstly at an awareness level. So at an awareness level, we work with para-athletes, not only para-athlete champions, but para-athletes who are in the process of training, by providing them the facilities, narrating their stories, working with them over the next 3 years to make them represent the country in world championships. Also, we work with the blind cricket team of India. They recently had a series with Sri Lanka. They're planning to have another series with South Africa. We are working with teams for assistive devices for the disabled. Internally, our showrooms are now almost 100% wheelchair friendly. Our website is enabled very strongly for a lot of the disabilities in India. See, as I said, we can do a lot. We can, in our simple objective of providing mobility for all, this is just the start. We are going to soon start year 2 on the program. But purpose marketing driven in Hyundai with a true heart, with a pure passion, is something that we are really, really proud of. We are also very, very excited and very, very happy to see how much government is coming to us for collaboration on this topic. We've had the presence of union ministers and a lot of state ministers on our programs, and it is a privilege to see the kind of partnership we are getting from the government. So I repeat, the program is called Samarth by Hyundai. Samarth, the word I'm sure everybody understands. And it is a program to increase the inclusivity and awareness for the disabled in the country. So that is something we are personally very, very proud of. I started by saying there is a lot of crazy or eccentric stuff that we do regularly. You need shock value in today's overclocked media universe. But Samarth is something, as a collaboration, we are very proud of.
Absolutely. I think this opens a new chapter in terms of how auto brands can be more maybe socially aware also. I think this may lead into a movement which you are spearheading in a way.
Hopefully, Ruhail.
You know, my next question is about, if you talk about collaboration and if you see the way it happened, say 2 years back or 3 years back, and now how it is taking place or shaping up now, do you see any shifts that are in the thought process or the approach that you have taken which are different from what it used to be earlier?
See, the exciting part of being in the marketing universe is that every day is new. Now, every day is new means a new platform will get launched and you'll have more stickiness coming to that platform. The formats are now vertical. The impatient nature of the consumer is increasing. You know, you cannot tell a story in 6 minutes, you have 6 seconds. For us, it is very simple to understand in Hyundai marketing that we have to be where the consumer's passion point is. And the consumer clearly does not want interruption in entertainment. I'm repeating, whatever they are seeing or whatever they are enjoying, they would be enjoying it on a train, in their house, on a flight, etc., etc. But they are not looking at interruption. So what, as a marketer, we need to do is integration. Whatever they are viewing, the brand has to seamlessly integrate into the storytelling. That is something that we aim to do. Now, your question is, has something changed over the last 3 years? So, Ruhail, everything has changed. Even if it's print advertising, you need QR codes. You know, even if it is outdoor, it is D-outdoor, D-O-O-H. Even if it is TV, we've done very recently very strong TV partnerships where we have sold cars through TV associations. Now, 3 years before, I would have only done TV for top funnel, awareness, brand lift studies, etc., etc. But As recent as 6 months back, we have done a TV Impact Association. We have actually, I have numbers on the ground, these numbers of cars have been sold through that. So the way we as marketers can use MarTech, pure technology, innovation, how we can connect mediums together is something that we are seeing very, very heavily in 24, also in 25. But this is the exciting nature of marketing. As the consumer evolves, the marketer has to evolve.
So collaboration across channels, if you could tell us, is it, say, the same story in digital, the print, connected TV, mainstream television? Do they have a similar kind of a code, a blueprint when it comes to collaboration, or is it really different one from the other? Are the teams, do you have the same teams working for it? Do you have different teams? How does that cross-channel collaboration really shape out, you know? Give me your story, if you have any examples also.
No, Ruhail, I mean, a single finger can never lift a pebble, no? And there is no one size that fits all at all. So the team that handles creators or influencers who are creating 6-second videos in Hyundai marketing are very different from the team that handles the inclusivity work on Samarth. The mindset is very different. We are targeting very different people. Please understand, if the same 30-year-old in the organization is trying to do both things together in the same day, I think both will be suboptimal. Our job is obviously to recruit that right talent, to retain the right talent, to give them the tools to deliver that specific objective and not have a jack of all trades. Maybe I'm the only jack of all trades because I'm senior. But honestly speaking, we will have different folks with different strokes to deliver very, very different objectives, as I said. Now, also, when we are now looking at, say, replacing, we are actually looking at it in the company, we are looking at a digital innovation team member as we speak. That girl was with us for the last 5 years and she's moved on. In the 5 years, in the interview, now I realized that even that profile itself has evolved so much. It's not that we are looking at a specialist. That specialist skills has itself evolved so much that we will not only change on time, we will also change with skill set of the person coming in. So in marketing, one has to listen to the consumer. We have to see where the audience is. A lot of the reports coming in from our partners, collaborators like Google, like Meta tells us where the consumption is. And based on that, as the marketer, you read, you imbibe, and then you get the right person to do the job that is to be delivered on that medium.
Are there any best practices when it comes to collaborative initiatives? And if there are, what would you list, like in 1 or 2 and 3? What would be those for you?
Best practices, I would not take it as best practices, but there will be certain basic rules. First, even before you set the KPI, there should be a brand fit on the collaboration. We have a lot of people coming in to meet us and prospecting what is there on their shelves to sell off, and it could be all kinds of sports, it could be all kinds of programming, it could be all kinds of regionals, it could be all kinds of time bands. But the first reason to shake hand or have a meeting would be, and here I'm not talking to the collaborators prospecting in this room, but would be that there should be an awesome brand fit. And for that, the marketer should themselves, herself or himself know what the brand stands for. So that is, I think, the first rule of any collaboration. And the second rule of any collaboration is that why do we need to do it? ये बहुत अच्छा है, ये आजकल चल रहा है, ये सब देख रहे हैं. Is a lot of echo chamber conversation. I call it echo chamber conversation. You meet 5 people, all 5 people are saying आजकल ये बहुत चल रहा है. But the 1.3 billion people have no idea what they are talking about. So first is the brand fit. Second is the objective of the collaboration. Even if it is a feel-good collaboration, there has to be a KPI. It will be a brand lift study. It will be a reach parameter. It will be a GRP parameter. it will be a views parameter, but there is some ROI or some key matrix that we all marketers should definitely have when we do any level of collaboration. Collaboration में क्या होगा? We are clients. Somebody will earn good money. Bye bye. What needle has moved for me and my team and my sales team or my service team is very, very important. So first is clearly salience or brand fit. Second is very clearly the objective that you want to drive. In 2024, if the objective was, say, 70% brand building, 30% performance, and in 2025, it is the other way around, I'm just giving examples, then we should be very, very keenly connected to the company objective and then turn our marketing ship in that direction and then go attack.
So let me sub-segment it, go to the next side of it, which is data-driven part of it, you know. How do you really collaborate with the data side of, you know, marketing? And what are some of the takeaways that you really want to share here? What is the best way to approach a data-driven personalization, if I may say? What has been your observation? What are the key takeaways you would like to say or share here, you know?
Yeah, Ruhail. So some marketers don't like data and love hunch-based decision making. But
which one is better?
Exactly. That's my next sentence. So in Hyundai way, we have a Hyundai way, the way we operate in our organization. Data-based decision making is one of the top parameters. And I've spent the first 10 to 12 years of my career in sales. So I love reading numbers. I love analyzing data. And really, I'm telling you, data gives you great insights. We believe that the television ad was brilliant, the print ad was front page, leading daily. When we did consumer research, everybody said, I saw your ad on Facebook. Boom. So if you read data, if you get the answer, that is where you should first act on. So first party data is one of the biggest, I should say, assets an organization can have. You can get it through web visits, you can get it through ad responders, you can get it through call center calls, and obviously you can get a lot through ownership data. All our communication should move with data. Any medium. If it's IRS, if it is BARC, if it is in-house data of OTT, we should look at that as much as possible. Marketeers should question that as much as possible, because ultimately the return will come out from that reach and will come out from those views. It will not come out from anywhere else. It will definitely come out from whatever that collaborator ecosystem is delivering for you. So data-based decision making is important. Also the frequency when you see the data. In today's digital ecosystem, if you see data once in a month, you've already lost a lot of the battle. There should be somebody like in our agency partners, Havas, or our media agency partners, Havas and Inocean. There should be somebody looking at data daily. You are spending money in a concept called always on. You should look at data daily. Our teams should definitely look at data weekly. At our level, I should have a data view on my table at a daily basis. I should have a meeting on it at least fortnightly. Please understand, it is 1.3 billion people. You are actually searching for a consumer that everybody else is also searching for. If you don't see the money being spent in the right manner on a regular basis, then it will be too late or you will just be lazy. When you want the buck to really deliver, data-based decision making is very, very important today. Very, very important today. And the frequency in which you look at the data that comes out of your Marcom or Martech is also much shorter than maybe sometime in the past.
I have a couple of more questions, and then I would like to take a couple of audience questions as well. Let me go to this whole idea of hitting refresh as far as your collaborations are concerned. What is the cycle of refresh? Is there a cycle of refresh? And how often should it be? And ideally, I mean, is there a way for that? Is there a formula for that?
Hyundai in India, 28 years. So I would say top of mind awareness, we've got a good tick. Unaided awareness, we are almost there. So we are driving consideration and we are driving purchase intention. And obviously we are driving, I would say, footfalls and thumb falls to our dealerships. So the collaboration should be based on how long you want to build salience with. For example, if you're doing a collaboration with a marquee television property or a marquee on-ground property, it should be for 2 to 3 years at a minimum.
That's when it really delivers,
Yeah,
right?
that's when it really, that's where really you will get the resonance of the association you actually want. Please understand, in all social media also, it is propagated to have a frequency of 5 to 7. Now, if you're doing an on-ground partnership or an on-air partnership, you should have a frequency of at least 2 to 3 years to build the association and so that the property gets recognized by your brand name also. Creator partnerships also should not be just once. We do a lot of creator partnerships online. They should also last for a certain point because we are a high involvement category product. There is a user journey in cars. The association should have multiple episodes of user journey. Could be at least a partnership of 6 months. So I would say, depending on the nature of the medium and depending on the resonance you want to build with the collaboration, it should in no circumstance be only once. In no circumstance be only once. You should have definitely repeat value in advertising. I mean, if you do print advertising, you will have 2 inserts in a month. I mean, that's how we started 20 years back. So if you have any collaboration, you should have a resonance. This is your first E4M Auto Marketing Summit. If you do one and it's done, boom. You will also run it for certain years to build a space in the mind of auto marketeers that, this is the forum to reckon with. So repeat and continue. But also there will be fatigue. As they say in the outdoor business that, if you have the same creative on the same road for a certain amount of time, it's a black spot. So please understand, because it's the money being spent on a regular basis, after a certain frequency, either the creative has to be changed or the medium has to be removed. So as marketeers, there is something called visual fatigue or advertiser fatigue. We should be very, very careful of that, and we should know when to stop also.
So I want to bring in a couple of questions, if there are any. Otherwise, I'll go to my final question. Is there any question anyone wants to ask? Please raise your hand. We'll give you the mic. Okay. Okay. We can take that gentleman at the corner. Yes. And there's one more here.
You will introduce yourself as a collaborator or not?
Okay. Yes. You can stand and yes.
So thanks for the question. For other people who didn't know, basically he's checking that how do we engage regional collaborators or regional content partnerships. That's the point. So 2025 for us will be the year of regional collaboration this year. We did some amazing work in Onam in Kerala last year, where we took on 3 different regional creators and we did series with them on food, on dance and on martial art. And it got amazing organic traction. Obviously, it was a larger campaign, but this piece was really, really good. In our national dealer conference this year, we've spoken to dealer partners to give us collaboration opportunities with creators in local languages in local states. We've already listed out the states, but we want to become more vernac, more granular, more episodic, more festival, state-wise in 2025. So that is a big pillar for us this year. I don't know if you're from that collaborative ecosystem, and I've run into your trap, but that's what we are planning to do. Dekha? I knew it.
There's one more question.
But did I answer your question? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, please.
We'll get you a mic,
sir.
We'll get you a mic.
Please, yes.
I see it. You carry on.
I'll just go anyway. So, hello. Yeah.
Yes, good.
So the question is, first of all, thank you so much for talking everything about other than partnerships and collaborations, also about data-driven decision making. So you mentioned that there were a lot of substantial amount of sales that happened through TV partners. I also wanted to know, is there other channels that you also utilize for maybe bookings or sales like WhatsApp or maybe other channels? And another question related, which is, do you use AI for any sort of marketing or any sales, direct or indirect for that matter?
So, to answer the first part of your question, there is rarely any medium that Hyundai advertises it in which does not have a bottom funnel KPI. Okay, you get the point.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying sort of print we use for tactical or digital we use for. There is rarely any medium now that we don't look at a full funnel KPI from Hyundai marketing. And TV got added to the mix very, very strongly even last year. And I'm talking, please understand, I'm not talking surrogate attribution, I'm talking direct attribution. So that is something that we are very proud of and we work on. What was the second part of your question?
The second
AI.
was, yeah, how do you?
Yeah. So AI, everybody talks AI nowadays. But see, we are obviously using AI on the product side. We've got more than 300 embedded voice commands on our latest car, and it is embedded in the product. It is working on a lot of natural language understanding, NLU, that backed by AI can actually respond to the command of the consumer. So there are 4 or 5 different ways you can ask the sunroof to open or call somebody, etc., etc. And in our cars, it's also Hindi plus English. So it's English that the car responds to. So anybody who has a 4 or 5-year-old Hyundai, time to upgrade. Sales pitch done. Please put that. On the marketing side, we are using AI obviously on chatbots. We are using AI a lot on our hyper-local marketing digital platform for dealerships, where we are trying to target for higher efficiencies the hyper-local consumer or the near-me search consumer. So there AI is using. Where we are not there yet is using AI pure play for creative personalization, for multiplicity of creatives. That somewhere we are not there yet. We've done bits and pieces of it. But it is, as I said in the past also, it is a spark that a marketer cannot ignore. Ideally, as a marketer, we should not ignore any spark, but this is a spark that is going to really, really pick up. So I told you where we are currently, and teams are working on obviously a lot of future prospects. So it is an important part of what we do daily.
Got it. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, Ankit, sorry, one last question I'm taking there because we still have 2 minutes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Retaining a customer, is it that difficult or acquiring a new customer is difficult?
Which is more difficult?
No. So I think the answer is very simple. Getting a new consumer is the biggest ask. Sir, आपके बारे में personally I won't know, but I will answer. No, I get the point. Just jokes apart. So retaining a consumer should be easier for any brand because you have given the consumer higher level of experience touch points through the ownership journey. Okay, it is the person or the family has not just been impacted by advertising, but also by sales experience, service experience, experiential event experience, etc., etc. So hopefully the consumer is now a consumer for life. That is the expectation, okay? And because in Hyundai you have an i10 and you have an Ioniq 5, there is an upgrade possibility and there is a parallel movement possibility. Creta, by the way, one of the largest contribution of purchase is repeat purchase. So clearly it's written on the wall, retaining should be better for an organization. There is nothing easy in today's world. It should be better for an organization. Hunting completely fresh ground to get more and more consumers where the consumer is also looking at multiple brands, multiple segments, multiple body types is clearly a tougher ask, no doubt on that.
All right. So I'll be interested in the upgrade once the car understands Punjabi also, right?
Offline. We've got a consumer, guys. Thank you.
So my final question, what is the future of collaboration? What are the big challenges that you have to navigate or you are navigating? A quick on this.
So our car infotainment system is in 7 languages. So just to answer your first question, which has Punjabi. So the second part is that when you are associating or collaborating with consumer-facing action, please understand their devils are also your devils. While you have signed up for their angels, but if tomorrow something goes wrong with your collaborator, which has happened with a lot of brands, one has to be very, very careful about the impact that will come on you. So we at Hyundai are very, very selective. We take a lot of time in deep diving the association. Some of our collaborators may not be happy कि ये बताते ही नहीं है, but we are, our kitchen takes a lot more time to prepare than it takes to serve. Because in today's social media world, we have to be very, very careful of, anything on the partnership not even being subpar. I'm not saying it goes deep, sinks below, not even being subpar. So the big risk of any collaboration is not that the KPI was not achieved. If the KPI was not achieved, you will get a learning and you will better it. It's a PDCA. That's daily, that's a human's job daily, something that maybe AI will do for us in the future. But the biggest issue is that when you are putting your brand along with somebody else's name in somebody else's territory, things could go wrong with them that could dramatically impact you, which may not have a lot of remedy when that's happening. So as marketeers, please understand we've got the brand in our hand, which is one of the most important commodities of an organization. So any partnership collaboration should definitely have no chance of things going wrong. Not even 1% chance is workable, at least in our parlance.
Thank you. With this, we come to the end of the session, but thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruhail. Thank you, everybody.